backwards now. I'll put the brakes on. Hey, good morning everyone. Well, I'm out here in the snow because I'm in Canada. And well, actually, there's a good thing happening right now is that we have snow and then more snow and then rain, which melts the snow and then more snow. So it's going to go through this little weird phase for the next little while. But I'm out here today in this field. Actually, I'm probably going to go over to a field over there. Out here today because I'm going to take the Autel Evo out and check out if it's improved. Now, the Autel Evo came out back in June of 2018 and we're in December now. And well, it's almost 6 months. So is it any better? There's been lots of firmware updates. So I'm going to check that out. All right, I'm out in the field now. Check this out. I found the only patch of grass and I put my little landing and takeoff pad on it. That's pretty cool. And also check this out. I have a nice little orange case for my Autel Evo, which I'm going to plop down there. Inside, of course, I have the Autel Evo sitting here all nice and ready to go. So let's get going. Now, just in case you're curious about my little Autel Evo case over there, I do have a video on it and how I made it. It is not an official Autel Evo case. I actually had to cut out the inside, but I do have a video on that. And if you haven't seen it already, well, then you'll see it soon. Evo's there, controller's here. Let's do a quick takeoff. Should be all good. Let's see. I'm recording at 60 frames per second. Let me just put the camera on and you'll see we have the sun rising over here. So it should look really nice on the Evo. How's that look? Now, one thing I noticed with the Evo, see, I'm looking at the sun and the ground is dark and the sun is bright. I can tap to set the exposure for the sun. There, I did that. So now everything else should go darker and we just see the sun. But say I want to see the ground and I want to look down. I just see with my little gloves on here looking down. Ooh, it's kind of dark, but I'm going to lighten it up. There we go. So I'm flying nice and slow here, just checking out how it's going. I haven't flown this for about, it's been about a month now. So I've got all the latest firmwares, just seeing how it's doing. Seems to be okay. It's very stable. Most drones have difficulty with winter and white balance. Let me just bring it down to me so you can see me. And there we go. There I am. So here's my little patch of grass. So this is at 60 frames per second and this is looking at me right now. Now, one thing the Autel Evo had when I first got it, way back in when it first came out, was the actual horizon tilt on the camera. It was like all over the place. So here, let me just bring that closer so I'm bigger in the frame here. Now you see more of me, I'm much brighter. Yeah, and I got the beeps going on. So the horizon tilt was messed up when I first got this here Autel Evo, but they've kind of fixed it. I can get it to work about 95% of the time. So just walking around so you can actually see the drone here. Yeah, 95% of the time I can get it to work. So here we go. I'm gonna put the gimbal up a little bit. Forward, looking perfectly forward. There we go. And let's just fly you way up to the sky. How's the horizon? I'm just moving it around as I'm going up. How's it look? Looks not bad to me. You know, everything seems to be in check. Seems to be pretty good. Come around. The Evo had a big problem with this. You couldn't turn and keep the horizon level. But as you can see now, horizon seems to be okay. And I've got it on automatic settings, so it's adjusting the exposure for the amount of light that's coming in. I have to do that because right now the sky is bright on one side, dark on the other, and I have white snow on the ground. So I can't really set the exposure to be like 100% something. So here I am way down here. I'm a little dot way down there. So let's bring it back down. And even when it comes down, it used to have a problem before. When it came down really fast, it flopped all over the place. The first time I ever took it out, it was flopping everywhere. And now, as you can see, it's really stable when it comes down. So that's two things that are fixed. All right, so another thing that Autel has changed on here is the speeds on this thing. They've done some cool things with the speeds. So let me show you the speeds right now. Full speed forward, this is normal speed. That's about the speed I use because you can see in the video, it's pretty decent. You see what it's capturing? So let's bring it back. One thing with all drones, when you go forward and backwards at a fast speed, they tend to sometimes lose altitude, so you have to really watch that. There we go. All right, so the next speed they have is they have a really cool speed on here called precision mode. Precision mode, you can go super slow at 3 kilometers, 7 kilometers, 10 kilometers, or 14 kilometers. I'm gonna put on the slowest. So I have it at 3 kilometers. Here we go. This is like tripod mode, so I'm gonna go full forward. That is going 3 kilometers an hour. So, you know, that's pretty much walking speed. I'm walking beside it. And it's basically Autel's version of tripod mode. So everything is a nice slow maneuver. I'm turning and look at how nice it's coming around at a corner. So yes, a lot of people ask me if the Autel Evo has a tripod mode, and there it is. The difference between the Autel Evo precision mode and the DJI tripod mode is the Autel Evo allows you to set the actual speed, and it allows you as well for all the speeds. So here on the standard, you can go you can go from 18 kilometers up to 54 kilometers. I was flying, when you saw it earlier, at 36 kilometers. And they do have a ludicrous speed. Ludicrous speed will go at 72 kilometers an hour. Now, I won't fly ludicrous really low to the ground because it's, well, ludicrous. So let's take it up. And let's take it back. I'm in ludicrous now, so I have to, there's no sensors for this thing. So let me just show you it. It's fast, guys. Here we go. Let me make sure I don't hit anything. Okay, I can see clearly in the front. And here's ludicrous speed, which is crazy fast. It even sounds like a friggin' jet or something. Okay, it's coming back. Watch it go over my head. It's backwards now. I'll put the brakes on. It's insane because you can't stop it fast enough. You really need a lot of room to fly that thing. I don't know. If I had to get someplace fast, that is an awesome speed. People would on the ground would wonder what the hell is going on. I'm going to take it out of that because I'm just going to break the drone. A lot of people say, why don't I put it on, you know, like the vivid colors and make everything more vivid? So stare at me. I'm going to put it on vivid colors here. So this is the vivid mode. These are the vivid colors you get with the Autel Evo. So let me just leave it in that mode for a bit. Sometimes I find they look kind of cartoony. So this is vivid mode. Let me take it up. There we go. Let me look down around. And how's it look? You know, the exposure might be a little dark still because of the darkness out here. It is early morning. Here's vivid mode turning around. I'm doing a nice slow pan. There's the sun coming up. I don't know. A lot of times I've used vivid mode and it really enhances the colors too much. Sometimes it makes things look a little cartoony, but it depends on what you're using it for. I'm just staring at the sun now. So let's bring it back around. So another thing I want to show you is when I first got the Autel Evo, I tried orbit mode. Yeah, I know, I'm going to keep this beep away from me. I tried orbit mode and I had it circle me and it wasn't very good. It couldn't keep up. As the drone was moving around in a circle, it was like a fish out of water. The gimbal was just flopping, going around. So I want to see if they fix that. I'm going to put it up in orbit mode. We're going to go orbit this little structure over here. So on my screen, it seems like it looks quite smooth. I can't really tell. All right, so it looks like Autel fixed that little jerkiness that was going on. On my screen, it looks pretty smooth. I'll have to see it when I get home. Flipped over car. All right, so it says my battery's getting low and the aircraft's gonna go home. Home is just over there. Let's see what it does. There we go. Is it gonna fly over there? So I'm gonna walk over here. It always gives you the return to home on low battery in the last 5 minutes. It goes at 25%. So there we go. Let's see how it comes down. Now, I always found the Autel Evo had an awesome precision landing. It was really, really, really good. So they have said they've improved it. See that? It's moving. And I don't know, I didn't think they needed to improve it because it was really good before, but if they've improved it even better. So I'm standing here, I can see it's a little off. No, it keeps adjusting itself. How's it gonna do it? Let's get nice and close. I don't want to mess up anything. Yeah, that's pretty darn good, you know. Can't fault Autel for that, because out of a lot of the drones on the market, this one here is probably in the top 3 for excellent precision landing. So here it is, day 2. I'm outside, and I didn't get to finish everything with the Autel Evo yesterday, so I'm out today, except remember I mentioned yesterday the freezing rain? Well, it's actually happening right now. You can see my glasses are probably missing up a little bit. So what I wanted to try is over here. This is a place I came in the summertime. See, it's a big hill. Look behind me here. You can see down there. And what I wanted to do is fly the Autel Evo and see if it would follow me down or up a hill. Now, it is freezing rain, and I'm not going to keep the Evo out too long, but I will try it in the freezing rain just to see how it does. Now, look at my freaking GoPro. Look at the lens, is already all filled up with freezing rain. So this should be interesting. What could possibly go wrong? All right, so the wind's coming from this way, so I'll put the back of the Evo that way, and then we should all be good. And I'll use this here to kind of block the wind. You can see, even see on my little Autel display here, I'm getting some freezing rain on the display. This will be pretty quick. Am I the first man ever to fly the Autel Evo in the freezing rain? Let's put it in follow me mode. On here they call it dynamic track. We have follow, tripod, and parallel. I'm gonna just put it on follow. Kind of dark out here. There you go. I'm not doing anything. You can see I've got the drone. It should be following me. And now let's do the test. Going up a hill. Will it come up the hill with me? Come on! The last time I did this, the Autel Evo did not rise in height and crashed into the hill, and I can see it's kind of doing the same thing. You see it's not coming up. I'm going up. I'm getting higher than the Autel Evo. So a lot of people have been asking if that feature has been added to the Autel Evo. It was never anything that was broken before. And the Autel Evo knows it can't fly up anymore because the bottom sensor's telling it it's getting too low to the ground. So there we go. We know that doesn't work. But I will say one thing. That's the Autel Evo flying in freezing rain. And it's doing pretty good. Let's see, can I bring it back? Now we're going directly into the rain, so the lens might get a little messed up. Let's see. All right, let's bring it back and land it down here. All right, Autel, you're still an awesome drone, regardless that you can't go up and down hills. And you saw too, when I came down the hill, the height didn't change. It's still at exactly the same height as when I went up the hill. It hasn't changed, it stays at that height. So, one day, let me just turn this off. One day, Autel will add that feature. It's currently nothing that's broken, in my opinion. It's just not a feature added to the Autel Evo. Let's bring it over here, over the landing pad. Bring it down. So this is what freezing rain does to an Autel Evo. So can you see it on there? I don't know if you see it with the light. It's a bunch of little dots, and they're all like frozen on top of the Evo itself. The props will be okay. Keep it flying. And in the front, looks all right. But on the top, you might be able to see it or might not be able to see it. It's a bunch of little bubbles all over the Evo. Those are just little droplets of water that have frozen to it because of the temperature right now. All right, there you go. Maybe see it in the sheen. All right, here we go. Let's put this away. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be asking about my nice little orange case. So what I'll do is I'll put a video up tomorrow showing how I made this case, where I got it from, and how I made it. So stay tuned for that. My little landing pad here goes back here. We're all set. All right, my final thoughts on the Autel Evo. Well, it's been 6 months since they launched this, and as many of you know, when they first launched the Autel Evo, my first impressions were that it wasn't bad, but it was kind of half-baked. It wasn't really ready for prime time, and Autel launched it. A lot of us were guinea pigs and beta testers flying it around. Mine didn't crash, it flew well, but it was kind of like jerky. It just wasn't refined. That's basically, I That's the best way to sum up how the Autel Evo was at launch. It was not a refined drone. But 6 months later, I will say that now it's extremely refined. I would classify it as a really, really, really good drone. So if you don't have one of these, you might consider buying one. Now, I will say this. If you are from the DJI family of drones, say you own a Mavic Pro or a Mavic 2 Pro or a Mavic Air, and you're about to buy an Autel Evo, well, you might be kind of disappointed because the Autel Evo is not, even though it looks like a Mavic, it's not a DJI drone. In other words, all those really simple beginner modes that DJI adds to their drones, all those automatic, autonomous modes, you know, like the quick shots, there's several other things that the drones will do without very little intervention from yourself. This drone does not have it. Now, with that said, I will say that this drone does have waypoints, whereas the DJI drones do not have waypoints unless you install a different type of control software like Litchi or whatnot. Everything you do on this drone, you've got to be a pro. You have to do everything manually. So you have to relearn how to fly a drone. If you want to get a certain shot, you're going to do it manually. Now, the benefit is that the camera on this drone, on the Autel, for my opinion, this camera, well, right off the bat, this camera is better than the camera on the Mavic Pro. It's not as good as the Mavic 2 Pro. I think it's a little, you know, it's kind of similar to the Mavic 2 Zoom, maybe a little bit better in certain areas, but the Mavic 2 Zoom actually has zoom. So it's a really good camera, and the fact that it can do 4K 60, you saw me flying around 4K 60. What 4K 60 does, as you saw in the video, gives you really smooth video flying around, and it allows you to do slow motions. So when you saw me doing the RC cars and I was flying away and all of a sudden the RC cars look buttery smooth, moving and sliding and stuff, that's what you can do. That's why everybody wanted 60 frames per second on the Mavic 2 Pro. But DJI didn't give it to us. But you can get it on this baby. So yeah, it's a really good drone. And not enough of us talk about the controller. The fact that the controller is such that you do not need a phone or a tablet because you have the little 3-inch display right there is a nice feature. You can really get up in the air and capture shots really fast without using your phone or tablet. So all in all, I'm really happy with the Autel Evo. I'm really happy that Autel over the last 6 months have done so many improvements. It's pretty decent. Certainly, as we move forward, they'll keep adding improvements and new features. You saw the feature for Follow Me to have this drone rise and go up and down, because a lot of people like to hike with this drone, but they don't realize that when you hike up a mountain or down a hill or ski or mountain bike, you're actually going up and down, and you require a drone that actually goes up and down. This one does not do it yet. So if that's what you're looking for, this would not be your drone for that. You'd have to watch my video on the Follow Me that I did earlier, and you'll see which drone is the right one for such an event. But if you're just out taking pictures and video, well then this drone is really, really good. It's done really well in all my comparisons, and yeah, it's a really good drone. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. It must be right here. I'll pretend that's it. Push that. Well, that's the like button. Push the like button too, and because this channel here has everything to do with drones and accessories, and if there's a drone out there that's really popular, well, it's going to be on this channel. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.